Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working on the matching Afghan, well I shouldn't say Afghan, baby blanket for the Cuddly Clusters Layette set. So we've already, we've got the cardigan, we've got the matching baby booties, we've got the matching hat. So here we go for the baby blanket. Now this is really easy. It's a 1-row repeat. And you just repeat that 1 row until you get to the height of the blanket you would like. My baby blanket measures 33, roughly 33 inches wide by 44 inches tall. I'm sure if I lay it out and, kind of go like this, I'm sure it'll be a little bit bigger, but that is the measurements of mine. And I used Bernat Baby Sport. This is from Walmart. I used white and baby blue. Make sure if you are going to make the entire set, you need 2 skeins white, 2 skeins blue, and make sure you have the matching dye lots. And then I used a 4mm crochet hook. Where is it at? I use a 4mm crochet hook with the 3-weight, but for purposes of this tutorial, we are going to use a 4-weight, which is just some scrap yarn I have. It's Red Heart Super Saver in buff, and I don't have a label for the purple. But I used the 4-weight yarn with a 6mm crochet hook just for today's purposes. But you can use whatever hook size you want with whatever yarn you want. Just keep in mind, if you are using a bigger yarn and a bigger hook, you're going to have a bigger blanket. I mean, simple as that, right? Okay, so get your yarn and get your hook, get a stitch marker and a needle to weave in your ends, get you a pair of scissors and a tape measure to keep track of the height of your baby blanket. Now I do want to talk about a couple of things before we get started. The chain multiple for this stitch pattern is any multiple of 4 plus 2. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then add 2. So for my baby blanket with the 4-weight yarn, or I'm sorry, 3-weight yarn, size 4mm crochet hook, my beginning chain was 146. Okay, now that's with my tension and working my pattern. It comes out to 33 inches wide, and then I work the 1-row repeat, changing color every 4th row to 44, give or take a ½ inch, 44 inches. Okay, so there's that. And I do want to also mention that throughout my entire Layette set, I repeatedly tell you guys that a part of this pattern is a chain 3, right? And I repeatedly say, work the chain 3 tight. However, for this baby blanket, this is the one project that we don't work the chain 3 tight. You just work that chain 3 like a normal everyday tension. Nothing fancy, okay? So do not work a tight chain 3 on the baby blanket. And I also want to talk to you about my color change. So I do work 3 rows of white, 1 row of blue. 3 white, 1 blue. Now you can work your color changes however you want to. Just keep in mind that 1 row, so if I got a cat hair, if I hold up my work right here, you notice how you see the back of the cluster, front, back, front, back, front. So every other row is flipped. So if you work 1 row blue, 1 row white, well, let's go 2 row white, 1 row blue. So let's pretend this row right here is blue. You will notice that 1 row of blue down here, the back is showing, but if you worked this one blue also, the front is showing. So you got to keep in mind that you need to keep it to where you know, like on my piece, I worked the back, 3-row white, you know, and then the blue. So each row of blue, the back of the cluster is facing me. Does that make sense? So if I worked this row right here in blue, it would be off because this row of blue is facing me, or is facing away from me, where this row would be facing me. So it would make it look odd because it wouldn't be, you know, the same. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. So if I hold this, well, the piece that we make in the video today, if I hold it like this, you can see the texture that the stitch pattern gives, right? So it would look funny if, you know, the cluster is facing you on one time and then the next time it's not. So it would be a little bit smaller because the cluster that's facing us is a little, or I mean, away from us is a little, facing us is a little smaller than the one that's away from us. Clear as mud. Okay, you guys will understand what I'm talking about whenever you work the pattern. I'm sure 4 or 5 of you are probably like, good grief, just get on with it. I know. I hear it enough in the comments. Anyway, so I wanted to give you that, and then I also wanted to let you know that the 1-row repeat starts with a single, ends with a double, okay? So each row, each repeat for the row starts with a single, and then it ends with a double, okay? And then you just work that 1 row, and then change color whenever you want to. Like I said, just keep in mind your clusters facing you or not facing you. And definitely weave in your ends as you go, okay? Because it is a nightmare to do them all at the end. All right, and as far as a border, I did not add one. I am perfectly happy with the way mine looks without it. I mean, this is what it's going to look like. Straight edge, bumpy top, straight bottom. You can definitely add a border to it. I decided that I liked mine the way it is, so I left it. Let's see, what else? Make sure you end your baby blanket in the same color you began. And that's it. That is it. Get your supplies together and let's get started. Okay, so once you have your chain length done, you are ready to go. We are going to start row 1. Row 1 starts with a single crochet into the second chain from our hook. Oh, excuse me. So not that one, but that one right there. Single crochet into there. And we are going to chain 3. Okay, so now we're going to start the beginning 4 double crochet cluster. So there's 2 types of cluster throughout, well, I shouldn't say throughout this Afghan. It's just this row is one, and then the rest of the Afghan, the baby blanket, is a different one. So that's why I refer to the cluster I'm getting ready to show you as the beginning 4 double crochet cluster, and then it's just a 4 double crochet cluster throughout the rest of the pattern. So for the beginning 4 double crochet cluster, well, first let me explain this. The reason this is referred to as a 4 double crochet cluster is because it has the beginning of 4 double crochets in it. Okay, so we start a double crochet 4 times, and then that's what makes up the 4 double crochet cluster. Now, what makes this the beginning 4 double crochet cluster is because the first 2 double crochets are worked into 1 chain. So 1 and 2 are into 1 chain. 3 and 4 are into how do I say that? 3 is into the next chain and 4 is into the next chain. Okay, so what we're gonna do, just get right into it instead of keep trying to explain this. I don't want to confuse you. Sorry, I just bumped my table. We are going to start by yarning over, go into the very next chain, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1. That's the beginning of 1 double crochet. So for 2, we yarn over, go right back into that same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's the beginning of 2 double crochet. So number 3 goes into the next chain, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then number 4 goes into the next chain. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook at the end of your 4 double crochet cluster. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 5. Chain 1. So that is what the beginning 4 double crochet cluster looks like. So I'll just show you on the baby booty since I have it right here. The only thing that's different with the 4 double crochet cluster that we work throughout the rest of the Afghan is that all 4 of the 4 double crochets are worked around a chain 3. That's the only difference. All right, so let's go ahead and single crochet into the next chain, and the single crochet is your pattern repeat for the row. So we single, chain 3, and I want to pause here because I need to take a note real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. As I film, I have a little notepad where I jot down notes, and I wanted to make sure I jotted down something. Anyway, so throughout this entire Layette set, I tell you guys to work that chain 3 tight. This baby blanket is the only time we don't work that chain 3 tight. We just work normal tension, just normal chains. Okay. Okay, so we have our single, chain 3, and now we start our beginning 4 double crochet cluster again. So we yarn over, go into the very next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go right back into that same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 and 2. 3 is into the next, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And number 4 is into the next chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So at the end, you should have 5 loops, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Start the pattern repeat over again. Single crochet into the next chain. Chain 3, beginning cluster. I'm going to show you guys one more time. Yarn over, go into the very next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go right into the same chain again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's the first and the second. We need number 3 into the next chain. So go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and number 4 into the next chain. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. And start your pattern repeat again. Single crochet into the next chain, chain 3. I'm going to work this a little bit faster now. Into the next chain with 1. Same chain for number 2, next chain for number 3, and the next chain for number 4. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, chain 1. Single crochet into the next chain, chain 3, beginning cluster 1 and 2, 3 into the next, and 4 into the next. Now once you've repeated that all the way across your row, you should end, pull through all 5, chain 1. You should end with working the last cluster into, working your last cluster, having one chain left. So you chain 1, and we are going to double crochet into that last chain. So come down and work your double crochet. Okay, so that is the end of row 1. Now, okay, my baby blanket, I worked 1 row of blue. That's what I started with right here. And then 3 white. 1 blue, 3 white. 1 blue, 3 white. Now you can do whatever you want to do. You know, you could have 2 blue, 2 white, or you could do 2 blue, 4 white, 2 blue, 4 white. You know, it's completely up to you. The only thing I do want to say is keep in mind that you are going to have several ends to weave in. I had quite a few with just working 1 blue, 3 white, 1 blue, 3 white, and definitely weave those in as you go. But so I'm going to let you guys decide however you want to do it. I will be working in the tutorial the 1 purple, 3 buff. What is that, buff? No, that's, yeah, it is. 1 purple, 3 buff. 1 purple, 3 buff, just as my baby blanket. So if you guys don't want to change color, all you have to do is chain 1 and turn, okay? And then just hold on just a second. But if you do want to change color, like I'm getting ready to, we're going to chain 1, pull up a loop, and go ahead and cut. Weave in your end. I'm telling you, do not leave that set. And then go ahead and turn. And then I'm going to get my buff. Get a slip knot on my hook, and as always, make sure you've got plenty of tail to weave in. And I am going to attach right into the top of that double crochet with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then pull that tail tight. Okay, so regardless whether you change color or not, go ahead and we're going to start the pattern. So single crochet right back into that very first double. We are going to come to the top of the cluster. So if you hold your work like this, try to get somewhere where there's not quite such bright lights. If you hold your work like this and you were looking at the top of your stitches, right? You notice how occasionally there's a big stitch and then the rest of them are average size, and then there's a big stitch and the rest of them are average. Every big V that you see is the top of your cluster. So you can look at it like that, or if you turn your work like this, and you'll see the top of all of your clusters come together right here, and then the big V right there, that's the top of your cluster. What we're going to do is single crochet into the top of our cluster. So if I look and hold it like this, if you give it just a little bit of a tug, see that little bitty hole right there? That's the top of your cluster. So put your hook right in there and single crochet. All right, so now that is the, no, that's not, I'm sorry. I was looking at my written pattern and I was going to tell you that's the pattern repeat, but it's not. So we single, chain 3, and then we're going to come down and work our 4 double crochet cluster around that chain 3. So yarn over, go in. We're doing the exact same thing we have done. The only difference is we're working all 4 of the 4 double crochets around that chain 3. Yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Now we're to the pattern repeat. So we single into the top of that cluster. So if you hold your work and kind of give it a little bit of a pull, that little bitty hole right there, that is the top of your cluster. Or you can look at it like this and see the big V with all the little V's. The big V is the top of our cluster. So we're going to come in there and single crochet. And then you just repeat, chain 3, 4 double crochet cluster around the chain 3. I'm going to go a little bit faster. 5 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Find the top of your next cluster. See it right there, that hole? Single crochet in there, chain 3. Come down, 4 double crochet cluster around that, chain 3. 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Find the top of your next cluster, right there, single crochet into there, chain 3. 4 double crochet cluster around that, chain 3. 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Find the top of your last cluster, single, chain 3, cluster around the last, chain 3, 2, there's 3, and there's 4, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. And I should have used a stitch marker to mark, oops, to mark that single crochet, but if you didn't mark it like mine, just turn your work and that single crochet is laid sideways right towards you, right there. We are going to work a double crochet into the very last single crochet. So just like that. And all we're going to do is repeat row 2. The only difference is where you guys want to change color. So if you want to change color, all you have to do is exactly what I showed you when I changed color. But for mine, since I'm not going to change color, all I'm going to do is chain 1 and turn, single crochet into the very first double. And then I am going to mark that so I don't lose it. All right, chain 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Chain 3. We're going to come over and find the top of that cluster. Just right there. If you pull it, you can see the top. We're going to single crochet into there, then chain 3. Now we cluster around the chain 3. 4 double crochet cluster around the chain 3, I should say. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1, come down, single, chain 3, 4 double crochet cluster. No, not a double. Sorry, I finished that double and I shouldn't have. Okay, 4 double crochet cluster around the chain 3. So I have 1, there's 2, 3, and 4, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Find the top of that next cluster, single crochet, chain 3, work your 4 double crochet cluster around your chain 3, yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. Single crochet, that was not right. Single crochet into the top of that cluster, chain 3, 4 double crochet cluster around the chain 3, 5 loops on your hook, pull through all 5, chain 1. Into the last cluster, single crochet, chain 3, 4 double crochet cluster around your last chain 3, chain 1, pull through all 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, chain 1, and we're going to come down and double crochet into that very last single crochet. And there you go. So all you're doing is repeating chain 1, turn, single crochet into the top of that double, single crochet into the top of the cluster, chain 3, and then start your 4 double crochet cluster around the chain 3. Is that 3? One more. Ooh. Yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1. And that's what you're going to repeat. Mine has a little bit of a bow to it right now, but once you get your pattern worked out, just give that a tug and it comes out of it. And then, you know, has the straight edges. But, so all you're going to do is repeat row 2 and then changing color whenever you guys want to change color. So I am actually going to work this up a little bit more. I'm going to finish my 3rd row of buff, then work my 1 row of purple, 3 rows of buff, 1 row of purple. So that is what you're going to repeat, and then you end on the same row that you began with. So, or same color that you began with. So mine is purple, so I'm going to end on a row, purple row, okay? So I'm going to work a few rows and I will be back. Okay, so I repeated that a couple times, changing color. 3 rows of the buff, 1 purple, 3 rows buff, 1 purple. And there you go. All I did is weaved in my ends and ended on the same color that I started with. Now, you can definitely add a border to this. I struggled and struggled trying to come up with a border, and finally I was just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm leaving it the way it is. I like it. So my finished piece, I am super happy with. I think this is just adorable. I love it. I'm folding it right now. But anyway, I mean, that's it, guys. It's super easy, and it makes such a pretty texture. Oh, yeah. This is pretty. Okay, so that is it from me for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't, because I've got a ton of things in my mind to do for 2024 that's just right around the corner. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Check out the description box. I got links down there for you guys. And, links for the rest of the Layette set. So the little cardigan, the hat, and the booties. And that is it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.